Welcome back to another trip, man. Y'all here with Trippy Joker, and we got my 10 plus year brother with me. How's Atlanta been treating you?
It's been good. Living in one of the best networking makers in the world. Just been staying busy, staying focused, locked in.
Facts. So what you into now?
Recently, just I've been in property management right now about a year. Wanting to take it further with my production company and property management. Getting deeper in the process, just learning more every day, trying to grow within the businesses that I own, and just keep my head down, grinding, staying focused.
Facts, bro. It's been the same for me, honestly, back in the city, with this Trippy shit. So I am curious, what led you to property management? Why that?
Just growing up, I was always in the cars and working with my hands. So coming to Atlanta, it's busy, a fast city. I started out working at rental car companies, detailing cars, and just trying to really find my place where I really fit in. Just led me to property management, which is still working with my hands, still getting to learn stuff, a process, just trying to stay deep in the process, stay involved.
Facts. And you said you got a production company. Tell me a bit about that.
So my production company, Keystone Visions, is under my corporate entity, Euthanasia. I have a documentary going on for the city right now. We have 3 nationally ranked fighters. We got Levant, Southpaw Assassin, Brownlee. He's the #1 nationally ranked amateur, back-to-back, 2 years, 2 weight classes. We got Armand Jackson, the #3 ranked fighter in the nation, and a special treat for the city. We got a female fighter. Her name is Jasmine Buckles, #8 in the nation. She's been boxing for about a year, making her mark on the female boxing side of things, and just really ready to bring that attention to the city, bring back that fighting spirit to the city of Ali.
Facts.
Getting the city back involved.
So are you centering your production company around boxers, or is that just the market that you're trying to focus on?
So for season 1, this season is focused on the fighters just because we have something legendary going on in the city. That's happening right in front of people. I don't want people to miss it because, it might never happen again.
Right.
Despite, history always repeats itself, but it's the fact that it's in the now. So I know what it takes to be, let alone a decent fighter. You got 3 nationally ranked fighters from the city of Louisville, where Muhammad Ali was from. And then Levant Brownlee, you have one of the most recent champion to reach the national rankings since Muhammad Ali in recent history. So it's just something that deserves notoriety. I know how hard, personally, talking to the trainers, the fighters themselves, how much work goes in behind the scenes, how Coach Shackles pushes the fighters, also being a father figure to them. So just wanted to help keep pushing that positive pipeline through the city for fighters to chase their dreams and choose a better outlet. So,
Facts, bro. That's really inspiring, and I really look forward to the documentary that you got in production for sure. So do you want to stay closer into the sports industry, or do you have plans to branch out further?
For sure, branching out further. But where better to start than the city where we from? Like I said, you have Muhammad Ali, one of the arguably best fighters of all time from where we from. And like I said, with Levant being one of the most recent champions in Louisville's history since Muhammad Ali. And also you got fighters like Armand just scratching the surface, just waiting for his time. And then you got special instances like Jasmine. She's been boxing for a little over a year, and she's #8 in the nation.
Yeah.
So you got great athletes, but also I know it takes great guidance. So with Coach Shackles also shining the light on him, and it gives the people in the fight game, it gives them something to look up to. But the road less traveled, the name of the documentary is this season 1, with it being what we have in Louisville, is centered around the fight game for now. But in the future, I still want to work with people who take the road less traveled, the ones who sacrifice their time and energy and the blood, sweat, tears, and energy to chase their dreams, and just not choosing the same path that everybody else takes.
Facts.
Taking a greater risk.
So why Keystone Visuals?
Keystone Visions. For the writers who know, the keystone is like the origin of the story, the key point. Me as a writer, as a producer, I like to focus on like the realism, the deaths of the people, their stories, their timelines, because that's what makes us all special, where we come from, our backgrounds, and just being relatable. You got the fighters in the documentary; they all have their own trails, their own paths to success, their own personal sacrifices, their own vices that they deal with outside of the ring. Being a fighter, it takes a lot, and these young men and this young lady, like to an extent, they can't be regular kids and go party and even go to school and have fun like other kids. It's just the road less traveled. The sacrifice of making weight and being guidance to the younger fighters coming up out the gym is just something special in the making.
Facts. So, is there any other avenues that you pursue outside of your property managing and your Keystone Visions?
So outside of those two, as well as investing, I take it to the depths of even just wanting to invest in myself more, learning how to keep money in my pocket, working with everybody else, because at the end of the day, it's collaboration over competition. So even where we at right now with the podcast, keeping connections for years, decades, it pays off in the long run, and just wanting to extend those connections and networks, just because you never know where the future takes you. So
Facts. And I don't know if you put it too much on social media, but I do know you're a father. Can you speak on how that has changed your life?
For the most part, I had my daughter at 19 years old. I can say it taught me a lot of patience. It really taught me the meaning of life. Like it really gives you purpose, because once you have a kid, it becomes like it's bigger than you. So it's like every day you wake up, it's just about, despite you not wanting to go to work, despite you might be hurting or sick, it's a bigger purpose behind you. So everything that I do is just making sure I set, like, not just my daughter, my family, my future family, just setting them and myself up for success, just to make the road that I pave easier for them, so they can avoid the hiccups that I had, the struggles that I had, and just making it easier on them. So then when they have their children, their families, they can take it a step further. So it's definitely taught me patience, especially being so young. It taught me a deeper level of sacrifice and facing like my personal flesh of not wanting to, like I said, wake up, and I might want to go have fun, but knowing that you can't every time, because you got a bigger purpose as to, you got to lead somebody and be a father figure to somebody, and you just got to be the perfect example.
Facts. So what are some of the ways that you are setting that, perfect example, or putting your best foot forward, so when your daughter grows older, she looks back, at what you've accomplished, and it's like, wow.
Just like even now, just setting up funds, setting up accounts, and even the stones I've reached as far as in my high school, and in the process of making scholarships, paving the way so that she sees that like giving back and helping others out, it always comes back to you just reach another level of like gratitude and sacrifice. Because for some people, they might not have it. It's not easy being an indie company, but it's about the sacrifice, what you do for other people. Like back to my production, the fighters, they tell me thank you all the time, because they work so hard. They would love for their stories to be told, but for me, I tell them thank you, because if I didn't have the canvas to paint on, it wouldn't be possible. So
Wow. Hey, that was a good one right there, my brother. What the fuck? Cause like that's really what, like another perspective of what like the Trippy podcast is like. We see the brand as like bridging the gap across industries.
Right.
So, but that don't happen without this pillar and that pillar.
It takes a village for sure.
Taking that risk to go on the road, you feel me, and maximizing the opportunity of that pillar being created for the simple fact of connecting one to another. Right. And then it doesn't stop there, Right. The bridge is always gonna have more pillars and more things to add on, because other people are trusting me with their story, creating a whole pillar from that.
Right,
You know?
those bumps in the road, like when you on that road to success, it teach you a lot of lessons. Like I didn't plan on like having a kid, and like I had to make that hard decision of like when playing football, like the dream I've been chasing my whole life. It's like it comes between like, do I chase this dream knowing it's gonna be hard, or do I take the harder route and walk away from it and see what it produces? But I just knew that if I walked away from the game of football, that whatever dream I would chase, it would be for a greater purpose. It would serve a great purpose and be a great example for others. So, and like I said, knowing that you have somebody you have to be the perfect example for, it's motivating in a different aspect.
Facts. So it seems like you dealt with a lot of instances that could have, accrued some doubt or things that you may not have believed in. Can you speak on how you overcame those fears that it may not work out for you?
Cause it happens consistently more than people might think when you the top dog and you in charge of a lot of stuff like producing. I'm in charge from the funds, sponsors, vendors, the vision all together, and even like trusting the people who work on my production. Like for me, I'm all about when I present the idea, I go to people intentionally, and so you ask like how do I deal with this? Just like being intentional. Like starting my company, I had the intentions of telling stories and getting people's stories across, and to the title Keystone Vision, just telling the origin, because you got so many people that they never get to share their story, and like people that get overlooked, like these fighters who are breaking generational curses and just pushing a positive message and image. Like you just gotta always move with intent. Keep the main thing. Your higher source, always put that first, whatever that may be. But just knowing that like every day you wake up just ready to take the day on, and just knowing that like I'm chasing this just so, because it's the fruit don't grow the first day you plant the seed. So it's like you got to know that I'm gonna plant this so that one day I can get something from it, and that and other people. For me, it's like producing, like telling stories, it's an art, because it's like even years later the fighters, their legacies, their kids will be able to look to them, and it's like it'll tell a story, it'll have a meaning and substance to it. So I'm really excited for that project. I know it's gonna be great. Like the team that I have right now, like I say, I go to everybody intentionally because I like the way you shoot, I like the way you tell stories. But when I present the idea to people, I like to ask them like, why do you do this? Why are you in videography? Why are you in photography? Why are you in production? Like, what do you hope to gain from it? Because like money to me isn't enough as to why you do it. There's so many ways to make money, but when you talk about making art, it has to have substance. It has to have a story, and it has to have some type of perspective to it. Because some people can't relate, but there's a lot of people who can. Whether it's if they come from the same background as you, same city, different city, we all connected in some way. So.
Wow, that was a beautiful answer, bro. Wow. Oh my God. Hey, I gotta ask. What books do you recommend? Because you said you read 54 books. So what is your top, just give me 3 that's like mindset, something to, just help the community.
Okay, so for me being a dad, I would say Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's a great basis for anybody. Just because not only if you are a parent, it just teaches you how to handle both avenues of finances and sacrifice, and investing in yourself, in your dream, whatever it is you're chasing. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace. The book, A Man's Search for Purpose or Greater Meaning. That book, it definitely it digs deep into you. Like I felt like the book read me back. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just lets you know that you're not alone. Like it's that there's plenty of people that can relate that went through the same avenues, went through the same adversity, because as men, we tend to face the same things, and we feel like people don't understand us or hear us. So that's another great book. And a last book I would say is another great basis to even just how you operate through life, The 4 Agreements. It just teaches you it gives you a great perspective on life, a great outlook, and it kind of just like helps you see stuff in a different light. Like I said, it's a great basis for those who don't read as much. You want to get into reading. It's a nice, short, straight to the point, forward book. Me personally, I like to read personal development, business, sales, but it just depends on how you apply it to life. Like you can apply sales, investing, everything to how you live your life, and just extend from there. So.
Facts. So with applying, can you speak on ways that you have implemented information that you gained from a book?
So I'll speak on the 4 agreements.
Mm-hmm.
It says like not taking things personal. Um, like we had discussed this before in the past, as far as like sometimes like you might be in traffic and somebody's honking their horn like crazy,
Yeah.
but a lot of us we might take it personal, like why is this person impatient? But they might be in a rush because they have like a life changing opportunity to get into. So even then having the perspective that sometimes it's not just about you, like everybody, like you might be at a certain point in time with somebody else, but everybody has their own intentions about how they're operating their day and why they do stuff. Even as well as investing, like learning how other people invest their time, keeping things to a minimal, because a lot of things we spend on we really don't need in the moment, but on the back end you get that delayed gratification knowing that if I put this away now, or if I invest in this now, later on it'll produce, or it'll be a great foundation for what I need it for in the future. So those are 2 big ones, especially investing. Like you're not able to start in this production world, you're not gonna make it if you can't save money. Everything costs money, from the people you hire, your time, your energy, everything costs money. So that's the base. That's the basis of being in any industry. Want to start any business is just knowing how to invest in yourself, put that money aside, seeing your plans through, planning, preparation. Like I'm a firm believer that you always gonna get your opportunity to do whatever it is and exploit whatever it is you want to do. But it's like when you get that moment, are you ready for it? So I'm real big on preparation as well, and just knowing like this is my map that I'm gonna do, and not moving the goalposts is something that I learned from a book. Is like you have your goal. If something doesn't happen in a timely manner, you don't move the goal back. It's like you gotta learn to adapt and overcome, and that's something we learned early on in middle school, adapting and overcoming, because life throws us curveballs, but a lot of times it'll throw you those curveballs to see how bad you really want it, like. And then it'll also prove to yourself, like, how well did I prepare for these things? Because a lot of people, they like to they like to plan, but, like, a lot of times plan is just, like, you think you know how it's going to go, but it throws you a curveball. It's like, so you still have to make this thing happen, especially when you talk about being an executive of your company, a CEO of your company. If something doesn't happen to come through, you ultimately, you're held accountable for making sure that it still happens, but it's big on proving it to yourself. Like you asked me earlier, what are things I pick up, and it's like when you have those bumps in the road, you proving it to yourself more than anybody that like, okay, I know how to do this. I can do this on my own. I can do this if somebody doesn't come through, and I can adjust when time may be. So
Facts, bro. That was hey. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, like, this is really crazy, because, like, we really come from the same middle school, like, that's real deal, like, prime childhood years, and little 3 years make the most of, like, who you connected with during high school, before high school, and then if y'all still connected after high school, as we are, it just builds an even better connection, because it's like, you really handling business and you intelligent. You feel me? Like I gotta congratulate you on that and give you your flowers on that, brother. You feel me? Speaking of like, thinking back to those days, what would you tell yourself, or like the YNs of today to like, stay, what would you say?
In simple words, it get greater later, but it's really on you. Like nobody's gonna do the work for you. Nobody's gonna do your push-ups for you, your sit-ups for you. Nobody's gonna make you save your money. At the end of the day, like being a believer in Christ, like they say, anytime you get a paycheck and you got a dream you chase and God's testing you, like are you gonna put your money towards what you want or what you need? And so it's like it's behind the greater purpose as to why you doing it. I have a short film in the making right now. It's called $1 Million Promise, and the basis of it, I ask people, what's a promise that you feel like is worth $1 million? And so always, like to me, there's no correct answer, but it's like it gets deep, because a promise worth $1 million to me personally is like any promise you make to yourself. Because like being a man of your word, that's what you come to this world with and what you leave with. So just being a man of your word. I would tell my younger self, like, just staying focused. It is hard, like, being a kid, we all go through it for the most part, of, like, wanting to have fun and wanting to do this, but not thinking about our future. Like, nothing is short term. Nothing you can't just have fun and not think stuff don't have consequences, because in some way, shape, or form, whether it's good karma, bad karma, it comes back. Um, but staying focused, keeping the main thing the main thing. Because it is hard. Like in them times, you have a lot of different avenues and stuff you can go do, but just knowing why you do something, and then even then, staying within like the means of myself as far as, excuse me, I used to be a band kid in middle school, and like I felt like I swapped that out and like telling stories with music and writing and like reading books. I left that alone because I wanted to go play football, because like it was cool to play football. Nobody wanted to go to high school and be a band kid. I know I didn't, but just about staying true to yourself, because at the end of the day, like for me, it came back around. Like wanting to read books and tell stories, and one thing that I noticed within myself is like English and writing was never a class that I felt like I could ever fail. Like if there was ever a topic I felt like I could elaborate on, I know off the top of my head I could write 3-4 pages on it. So like just always staying within yourself, knowing who you are as a person, and watching who you have around you, because that's a big thing too. Is like a lot of people don't think like, oh, I'm not gonna let these people or these things affect me, but and just in human reality, it affects you regardless whether you want to or not. Who you surround yourself with, like us keeping this connection, and then even like the tech event we're going to this weekend, like that stuff rubs up on you, because like you want to stay in that headspace, especially if you're chasing your dreams and you focus. You want to surround yourself with the right people who have the same vision, who going on down the same road of understanding. Like it takes sacrifice and connection and consideration. Like you just gotta stay focused. You just gotta stay focused, stay prepared, and stay intentional. Honestly.
Facts. I hope y'all captured all of that, YNs, any of the youth, anybody watching that, because anybody can pick up from that right there. I ain't gonna lie. So just what's some of your music recommendations?
It depends on the mood. For me, like music is an art. It's a form of art. Like I always listen to music and try to listen to the message of it, like what picture they're painting, because like I feel like music's meant to like spark an emotion. It's meant to make you feel something. You know, I also take a page out of music books. Like when in school, we used to play Lion King, and you might not remember the scene, but you play that song and you feeling it. You feeling the notes. You feeling the instruments come in. So there's certain songs that you might listen to that might make you cry, feel away, or take you back to a time. So I try to implement that in my films as well. Like just making sure that like everybody feel something from what's being told. But music, I'll say it's about preference, but to me, I like to listen to like the intent behind it, the story behind it, because you never know what story somebody's trying to paint, because sometimes it's not their story that they're painting. Sometimes it's for a greater purpose. They're trying to paint a purpose for a specific group of people, but it should tell a story in some way, shape, or form, I believe.
Facts. So what songs do you recommend, or like what you listen to now?
Right now, Fridays album, Sundays I'm good, Sundays I'm not. That's probably my best album, my favorite album out right now, just because he has songs from love, loss, triumph, dedication. Like it's one of those albums that like paints a picture, it tells a story. Like Ride Waves Nostalgia, I listen to that album a lot because it contributes in the same ways of it tells different stories from different avenues, from love and loss and like stuff that everybody can relate to, because as human beings, I know we like to have fun and turn up, but we can always relate to love and loss and overcoming stuff and facing struggles, and it happens to everybody. So
Facts. And my last question is, what does trippy mean? Like how would you define trippy?
I would define it as just being open-minded. Like, since I've been knowing you always been an open-minded person, from ideas to even wanting to. I remember when I first met you, you wanted to hoop. You didn't even want to play football, but you was just open to it, and then it worked out for you. It was like, bro, just come and practice, bro. Just come and play. Like, you didn't even think, but you've always believed in yourself, like, been open-minded. I definitely think the brand is about just pushing, being open-minded, listening to different people's ideas and stories and perspectives, and just trying to like see what's out there, see who we haven't heard about, what stories haven't we heard. It just overall just pushing a different image.
Facts. All right, y'all. The trip has reached its destination. I know y'all have enjoyed this trip with my brother Darrell Brown, aka Showtime Rel. Any last words for the fans, supporters?
Be on the lookout for the teasers, trailers for The Road Less Traveled Season 1, starring Louisville's nationally ranked fighters Armand Jackson, Levon Brownlee, and Jasmine Buckles from the city of Louisville, Kentucky, starring Coach Shackles from Five Star Boxing, as well as the short film A $1 Million Promise. I'll be working on this summer. Just be on the lookout for all works and participations. I will also have castings. I'm always looking for volunteers, production assistants. If you know how to work a camera, if you out there, I'll find you. If you want to invest in yourself, I'll find you. But just
what's your Instagram? Where they gonna find you?
You can follow me at Showtime Rel, 2 I's, 2 L's on Instagram. Like I said,
go like this.
If you out there, I'll find you. If you're serious about your work, your art, the vision that I have for my company, you willing to work hard for the greater good of the vision, I'm here. So
facts, man. And as I always say, life's a trip, man, and we out.